And then let your next inhale bring you into a cow shape. So lift the tailbone, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and try to bring your heart forward and up high to the sky. 2 more like that. Draw the belly in, feel the undulation of the spine from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head, really tucking tailbone and pressing back of heart to sky. Inhale back into our cow. If you'd like to make it a little bit more juicy, you can bend the arms and then straighten them out at the very end. Last time into the cat, tailbone tucks, back of the heart rounds, exhaling the whole way to bring you into a full back or rounding. And inhale last time into a bit of a back bend with this cow, letting the tailbone lift, feeling the lower back lengthen and the heart pull forward. And then we neutralize the spine. So look down between the hands, press into the hands firm, press into the top of the left foot, reach the right leg back. A spinal balance, so bring the left arm long. So first, flying the interrogative of your core, draw the belly in, press the right heel away from you as you reach the left arm long. Exhale, draws the elbow to the knee, round the back of the heart. If you can, bring the knee closer to your face. Inhale, extend everything long. And exhale, bring the elbow to the knee or knee in closer to the face. Last time, find fluidity in your movement with your breath. Exhale, draw the knee in. Press into the top of the foot. If you have a problem with balance, the more you press into the foot, the more stability you'll find. Engage your core. Next inhale, extend the arm long, reach the leg back. And then we'll go for an early bind. So bend the right leg, reach around with your left hand. The thumb points towards the ground, and we catch the top of the foot. Press the foot into the hand. Try to lift the right knee high to the sky, finding again an early back bend. So be easy on your low back. Press into the fingertips. And if you don't have the bind, then you're working the hamstrings, reaching the right leg to bend, or squeezing the right leg in to bend and reaching the left arm back. If you do have the bind, push the foot into the hand even more and feel that open up your left shoulder. And then exhale, gently release, heel presses back, reach the left arm long. Bring the left hand down to the ground, right leg stays straight, bring the right foot down. Pivot left foot to the left and open up into a side plank with the left knee down. Reach the right arm overhead. Let the palm face down and then try to lift your heart to the sky. So a little bit of heart opening, front body opening. Maybe the eyes are closed. And then exhale, bring the right hand down, right knee down. Come back into your tabletop pose. Inhale into your cow shape again. Lift the tailbone, reach your heart up to the sky. Exhale, belly draws in as you tuck the tailbone under, press into the fingertips, head heavy. Neutralize the spine again. So bring shoulders over the wrists if they weren't. Press into the right foot, reach the left leg back. Stabilize the core, draw belly in, reach the right arm long. Take an inhale there into the length of the sides. And exhale, draw the elbow to knee or squeeze it in even closer. Inhale for length, press into the top of the right foot. If this hurts your knee, you can always double up your mat or bring a pillow. Exhale, right elbow to the left knee. Bring a pillow underneath your right knee. Sorry, didn't finish that then. Inhale one last time. And then exhale, draw the elbow to the knee, squeeze, press the back of the heart to the sky, press into the top of the right foot. Inhale for length again, extend leg and arm. Take the bind, bend the right leg, wrap the right hand back and down, catch the top of the foot, the thumb points to the ground. Press into the left hand, try to feel uplift of the body, and then the more you press the foot into the hand, if you have the bind, the more you might be able to lift the left knee. Again, if you don't have the bind, you're working your hamstring, you're reaching back and knowing that someday that connection will be made. Keep pressing into the top of the right foot, feeling the chest open. And then gently release, so try not to slingshot the leg. Press the heel back, reach the right arm long. Bring the right hand down. Left toes touch down, leg stays straight, pivot right foot to the right. Left arm sweeps back and up high to sky. Modified Vashistasana. Let the head drop heavy, reach the left arm overhead, and then peel the chest towards the sky. Let your exhale, bring the left hand down, left knee down to the ground, back into your tabletop pose. Lift the tailbone, tuck the toes, and then press your base back into a child's pose. Rock left and right a few times. Checking out what's happening, what's feeling, or how that's feeling in your lower back after a little bit of a back bend. And then find stillness around the back of the heart. Come back into your cat shape. Draw the belly in. Open up the heart. Come into your cow pose. Gaze up to the sky. And then elbows hug into the side bodies as we bring chin and chest forward and down. Keep your booty high. Chin and chest touch down. Elbows graze your side bodies. Slide forward into low cobra. Press into the tops of the feet. Activate the core to protect your lower back, and exhale, come down. 2 more like that. If the kneecaps are touching, press into the tops of the feet to activate the quads. Inhale to rise. And exhale, lower. Last time, belly draws in, heart yearns forward. And exhale, slow, come down. Tuck the toes, press back, the hips back to the heels, finding child's pose, this time knees together. And again, sway the hips left and right a few times. Look forward at the top of the mat, spread the fingers wide, like you're gripping the earth with the fingertips. And then start to rise up slow into your down dog. Try to keep heart glued to the thighs as long as possible, and then eventually straightening out the legs. Let's walk it out. Bend one leg and the other. Sway the head, yes and no. Relax the shoulders. And then settle into stillness here. Roll the shoulders away from each other like we did in child's pose at the beginning of the practice. Press armpits to the ground. Take a big inhale through the nose. Release something, let it out through the mouth. Lift the heels high to sky now and wave forward to plank pose, gripping the earth, rounding the back of the heart. Think a cat spine to get you there. And then exhale, bend the legs, turbo dog, let the heart melt to the thighs. Come back forward again, inhale to plank pose. Think cat spine here as you come forward, and then cow spine, lifting the tailbone, press heart to thighs as you come into your turbo. Last time, come forward to plank pose, warming up the shoulders. Exhale, turbo dog. We hold in turbo dog. So shins are parallel to the ground, heels super high above your toes. Heart presses to the thighs, armpits press towards the thighs. Send the heels to the left, breathe into your right side body as you straighten out the legs. Try to plant the left foot on the ground completely. Reach the right arm back and up high to sky, full Vashistasana. If you need to, left knee comes down to the ground, just like we did before. Press into the left foot, reach the right knee up high to sky, press into the left fingertips. We move slow. Bring the right foot down inside of the left hand at the top of the mat. Bend the right leg, find Skandasana, so the left leg stays straight. We pivot the body to the left side of the mat. Let's stay high here. So the the thigh is parallel to the ground, hips in line with the right knee. Tucking the tailbone under, press into the knife edge of your back foot, your left foot. Sink a little bit lower into your right hip. And then slide back like Spider-Man or Spider-Woman to the back of the mat into Skandasana there. Straighten out the right leg, bend the left. Again, keep it high for this first go around. Gently awakening the hips, encouraging them to open. Press into the knife edge of your right foot. Beautiful. Now straighten out the left leg so both legs are straight. Walk the hands underneath the face. Heel toe the feet in just a little bit. Toes in, heels out. Lift your tailbone to the sky. Find a forward fold here in your this is not Paschimottanasana, this is Viparita. Bring your hands underneath your face or walk the hands underneath and behind the body so the fingertips point away from you, and see if you can try to pull your body in between your legs. Soften the head so the neck is relaxed and supple. Shake it no and yes. Good morning to your hamstrings. Maybe close your eyes down, pour the weight into your toes and see if you can find a little bit of a deeper forward fold for this next breath cycle. And then as you exhale, slide the hands back underneath the face. Rise up as you inhale, halfway lift. All toes to the top of the mat, left hand inside of the right foot, reach the right fingertips up high, moving intentionally for this first warming up sequence. Pressing the right foot into the ground, pull the left shoulder back away from your ear. You might even look at where the left shoulder is to make sure it's over the left wrist. Reach the right arm up high like you're palming a basketball, so it's super engaged. And then bring the left knee down to the ground. Inhale, rise up, revolved crescent pose, modified with the knee down. Press the hips forward, look back at your right hand, soften the shoulders. Take another breath in this twist, maybe sink the hips a little bit further forward. And then after your next exhale, right hand lands on the left thigh. Left arm sweeps back, feel a luscious opening down your left side body. Left psoas, shoulders soften. I like to gaze down past my right shoulder to the ground for stability. Beautiful. And then inhale, rise up, straighten out the right leg as you bring the left hand down. We reach to the right arm straight up high to sky and slide the right heel forward. Prepping for a later posture. See if you can pull the right hip back and feel for opening up your IT band. Send your toes to the left and see if you can feel that a little bit more. Try to stack right shoulder over the left. And then melt your right hand forward and down to the ground. It's half Hanuman now. If you need to, slide the right heel even more forward. And then lift your tailbone to the sky. That will definitely awaken the hamstrings even more as you melt your heart down over the right leg. Draw the belly in. See if you can pull your heart forward towards the toes even more. Beautiful. Plant the foot. Bring the hands alongside the right foot. Tuck the back toes. Step back to plank pose here. You can draw the knees down to the ground if you need to. Otherwise, tuck the tailbone under. And then see if you can feel for the crown of the head in line with the shoulders, in line with the hips, and in line with the heels. So if I were to place a board on your back, all of those points of the body would be touching. And then let's all bend the legs. If your knees are on the ground, keep them down. Bend the legs, lift the tailbone. Chin and chest come down to the ground. Working our triceps as we come down. Lift the tailbone even higher. Glide forward into your low cobra. Maybe it's high cobra, thighs still on the ground, arms bent, shoulders back. Tuck the toes. Come back into turbo dog. Shake your head no and yes. Feel lengthening of the lower back here as we push the hands into the ground. We'll work the other side. So heels to the right, breathe into your left side body. Straight away, Vashistasana, straightening out the legs. Right shoulder comes over the right wrist as we sweep the left arm back and up high to sky. Again, modify by bringing the right knee down to the ground if you need to. Lift the left knee high to sky, even if you've got the right knee on the ground. Look forward at the top of the mat. Use your oblique muscles to slowly bring the left foot down inside of the right hand. And if it doesn't quite make it, heel toe it in. Fake it till you make it. Come into Skandasana to the top of the mat. So the left leg stays bent, the right leg is straight. If you need to, stay upright, but you might find that you can come down a little bit more. Make sure the left toes are pointing in the same direction as the knee so that we don't over rotate the left knee. And also try to press into the knife edge of the left foot. If you're flat-footed like me, that's always a quest to try to create an arch in your foot. Feel inner thigh on the right side opening, hamstrings opening. And then try to stay as low as you can. Slide to the back of the mat, Skandasana. Use your hands if you need to. Otherwise, if you're feeling strong, hands can always be at the heart. Again, keep it low or high, whatever your body is allowing for you to do. Knowing it's early in the practice, we're still awakening. It's still quite early there too. And then press into the right foot. Use your inhale to bring you up into Prasarita, hips high. Hands underneath the face, heel toe the feet in a little bit, toes in, heels out. Lift your tailbone, take a big inhale here. Exhale this time, bring the hands to your outer ankles and pull the body into a forward fold that way. So noticing with each different bind, how that changes the shape, the sensation of the posture for you. Developing our preferences, but always trying to explore new variations. And really using that grip around the ankle to pull so the actives are the biceps are active. Sorry, it sounds like I haven't talked at all today, but I have, I swear. Draw the shoulders away from your ears, lift the corners of your mouth, shake your head no and yes. Release what you've got on your next exhale and inhale, straighten out the arms, crown of the head away from the tailbone. Come to the top of the mat, it's revolved runner's lunge. So right hand inside of the left foot, sweep the left arm back and up high to sky, pull the right shoulder back. And then see if you can feel for what's happening in your hips, maybe you even want to touch them. If the right hip is dropping, really activate your right quadricep, push the left shin forward. We want square hips here, so this twist is coming from the spine. And then we'll melt the right knee down to the ground and inhale into our modified crescent pose with a twist. Bring the left knee forward. Feeling that opening up the right psoas. Bring it even more forward if that feels comfortable. Keep drawing the belly in, and then imagine you're wearing a corset, so your rib cage is pulling in. Let the left hand fall to the right thigh now. Sweep the right arm back and gaze down past your left shoulder. Hips way forward as much as your right psoas will allow. And I'm guessing it will tell you more than you can tell it. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, straighten out the left leg. Bring the right hand down underneath the right shoulder. Slide your left heel forward and left arm reaches up high to sky. So it's a modification of our half Hanuman. We'll come down forward, but let's stay here in the twist first. Bring the toes a little bit to the right. Breathe into your IT band here. And feel for stacking of left shoulder over the right, engagement of the core. Hips are over the right knee. Let your next exhale bring the left hand down outside of the left foot. Adjust your left heel if you need to. You might need to slide it forward or bring it in. Flex toes and then melt down. Definite good morning to your hamstrings here. See if you can feel for lifting the tailbone to the sky. We have a tendency to tuck it under in this posture, which rounds in the lower back. And if we take the opportunity to lift the tailbone, hamstrings will definitely get a little bit more action and a little bit more opening. Beautiful. All right, release that. Plant the left foot, right hand, or both hands on either side of the left foot. Lift the right knee. Step back, plank pose again. So super strengthen the core. Press into the fingertips. Tuck the tailbone under. Bring the knees, chin, and chest down at the same time, unless you already had the knees landed. Inhale glides you forward, lower high. Maybe you're ready for up dog, in which case thighs are off of the ground, arms are straight. Press the shoulders away from the ears. Everyone, this time try to roll over the toes and come into your turbo dog straight away. Shake your head no and nod it yes. Lift the heels a little bit higher, press the heart a little bit more towards the thighs. We'll inhale to rinse that out, come forward to plank pose, round the back of the heart. Keep pressing into the hands. If you've got, exhale, come into turbo dog. I shouldn't come into a speech when we're in the flow. Inhale, come forward to plank, and exhale into turbo. Last time, come forward to plank. I'll give you my speech here now in plank pose. So if you feel lots of weight in the wrists, grip the earth more, press into the base of the first finger and thumb, and then externally rotate the hands. From here, come back into your turbo dog, bend the legs, press into the hands, lift the hips high, but keep the heart melted to the thighs. Take the heels to the left and breathe a juicy breath into your right side body. Straighten out the legs. Vashistasana again, modify if you need to. Right arm reaches back and up high to sky. Press into the left fingertips, reach the right knee up high. Flex the toes, use your core, bring the right knee forward. You can even use your hand if you need to. Land it inside of the left hand. Skandasana, bend the right leg. Come low as your hips will allow here. Maybe bring your hands to your heart this time. Flex the left toes if you're low and keep pressing into the knife edge of the front foot. Come to the back of the mat. Bend left leg, straighten out the right. Stay low. Think about using your core to find lift of the torso. We want the shoulders lifting up instead of the body rounding down. Press into the left foot, come up into your Prasarita again. This time we'll take a different bind, so halfway lift as you press into the tops or into the toes. Take the hands back behind you, interlace fingers here, press the palms together, and then melt your body down. If you need to, find a little bit of a bend in the legs. And if you need a little bit of an extra rinse, bend the legs and sway the body. Try to let the arms be as heavy overhead as possible, and imagine that someday the fists touch the ground behind your head. Keep pressing more weight into the toes, awakening the hamstrings. Gently release with your next exhale. Hands underneath the face, inhale, rise up, halfway lift. And then twist to the top of the mat. Left hand comes inside of right foot, right arm sweeps forward and up high to sky. Press the right shin forward. Now feel for the left quadriceps super engaged. Press into the right foot, inhale, rise up, twisted crescent pose. So left arm reaches forward, right heel, left heel presses back. Try to draw the shoulder blades back and down. Look back at your right hand. If you need to, the modification was left knee down on the ground. Bring the right hand to the left thigh, reach the left fingertips back, exalt your crescent. Feel lots of length and juiciness in the left psoas, left side body. From here, revolve triangle. Left hand comes down, straighten out the right leg. This requires core to come down with grace. Reach the right arm up high to sky. And then let's all do a check with the sacrum because mine is perpetually tucked under. So we want to lift the tailbone, pull the right hip back. We want to imagine that we could rest a cappuccino on your tailbone without spilling it. And once you've got that, reach the right arm back up high to sky. I like to be high on the ball of my back foot, but you can plant it if you shorten your stance. Take one more breath here. Exhale, right hand comes down to the ground outside of the right foot in pyramid shape. So our feet are on two train tracks. If you need to adjust them, do so. Lift the right toes for more sensation. Keep lifting the tailbone and reaching your heart forward towards your foot. Take a few minutes or moments to coax your hamstring into greater opening. And then we add on to the flow from here. So plant the right foot. Walk the hands forward. First find supported warrior three. So the left leg is parallel to the ground. Heart reaches forward, and so we're more upright with our body. Feel the inner thighs squeezing towards each other. And then bend into your right leg, your standing leg, and allow the torso to rest onto the right leg. Turn it into standing splits by lifting the left leg. And that lift might be 1 inch. It might be 10 inches. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you're feeling opening in the hamstrings and softness in the neck and the torso. Shake your head no and yes here. This should feel quite strong on the right standing leg, so send your breath and attention to your right leg. One more inhale there. And then exhale, hug the left knee into the chest as you press into the right foot, rise up, Stork Pose. Reaching the left knee up high, reaching the arms up high, root down with your right foot. Take 3 big hip circles here with your left knee. We'll land the left foot behind us. I'm not mirroring you, so I'm doing the same leg as you. Left foot comes down, right hand to the left wrist, and push your left hip forward. Gaze down to the ground again. Look down for stability. Beautiful. From here, press into the left foot, press into the right foot. Bring the left knee with you to the left shoulder, and then take tree pose. Left foot comes inside of the right hand, hands come to the heart. From here, we want to ground down with the right foot. Imagine our roots spreading, stabilizing us, and then lift the crown of the head, tuck the tailbone under. Take the arms out wide now, press the palms away from you as you extend the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, keep tucking the tailbone under. Look at a point in front of you that's higher than your eyes so that your energy is moving upwards. Beautiful. Release the arms back up high, bring the left knee with you. And then we come into half moon from here. So rotate left hip over the right, reach the left leg back super strong. If you have a wall behind you, you can press the foot into the wall. Right hand comes down to the ground. But even without a wall behind you, imagine that you've got one and you're pressing the foot into the wall. Pull the right hip back. Bend into the right leg. Let the left toes touch down soft. Slide the right hand in to the outside of your foot or to your shin. Trikonasana here. Pull the right hip back. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Left hand is super strong, reaching towards the sky. Fingertips spread wide. And then we'll rise up in reverse, straightening out, or everything straight. Left hand comes down to the left leg. Reach the right arm back. See if you can feel for pressing the hips towards the top left corner of your mat and how that creates more length down the right side body. Inhale, we'll rise up. Circle through the hands down to the ground. Try to keep the right leg straight. Lift the left heel super high to the sky. Lift the right toes. Tent the fingers underneath your shoulders. This will be difficult, but that's okay. We're going to try to lift the right leg straight up high to sky into a three-legged down dog kick. Once we're there, hands come down. If you needed to bend the leg, no worries. Bend the right leg now and stack the hips and open up. Take 3 hip circles there. That should feel super nice and juicy for that hip. After the third one, stay in your three-legged down dog kick with the hips open, or flip over. Bring the left heel to the left. Right knee stays super high, lifting towards the sky. If you're flipping over, right toes touch down behind you. We squeeze the shoulder blades. We let the head drop heavy. If you're staying in your three-legged down dog kick, try to keep lifting the right knee to the sky and stacking the hips. Beautiful. If you're flipped over, bring the right hand back down as you exhale. We all meet in three-legged down dog, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, draw the right knee high to the right shoulder as you come forward to flying plank pose. Bring the right knee, slide it down your arm like an elevator, and then pivot the right heel towards the left wrist, setting up for your pigeon. Slide the left knee back and let it land, let it land onto the ground. Bring the left hand to the sole of your right foot and bring the right hand to your right hip crease. So right where your leg and torso connect. Make sure that the right knee is out wider than the hip. Maybe look back at your left leg, make sure it's in line with the side of your mat. And then try to feel some lift, some buoyancy in your pelvic floor. We don't want to be dumping in this posture. We want to keep the integrity of the posture by lifting up, feeling upward energy even here. And we use this right hand to press into the right hip joint to create space there. And if this feels like enough for you, stay put. If you'd like to more or to recline it, bring the hands down to the ground or the elbows down. If this posture is simply not working for you, take it on your back, just roll over and keep the right leg bent and pull it into your chest. Soften here as much as you can into your outer right hip. Feel for energetically pulling the left hip forward and the right hip back. Take 3 more breaths here. And then after your third breath, if you're forward, walk the hands back. We'll all meet in Marichyasana, so roll into the outer right butt cheek. If you're on your back, come to sit up. We'll sweep the left leg around and plant the left foot outside of the right thigh. You can modify this by straightening out the right leg if it's too much on your knees. Otherwise, keep the right heel close to your left hip. Reach both arms up high to sky. We twist to the left, so left hand comes behind us, right elbow outside of the left knee. Feel for lifting of the crown of the head and see if you can feel both sit bones rooted down. So all of these twists, super good for our lower back. Reach the gaze past your left shoulder. And then close your eyes down and drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Keep lifting through the spine, finding length with each inhale. And exhale, letting the twist come into your body a little bit more deeply. And then keep the twist. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left foot and straighten out the left leg. If that bind's not available to you, take the left hand to your left calf. But in any case, we're all pressing the left heel away from us. Reach the left arm long. Keep the heart pressing towards the left knee. You should feel this in your hamstrings again and in your IT band. If you feel like you're falling backwards onto your right hip, try to push more weight into the left hip joint. And then take your left hand and come forward. Bring it to the inside of the left foot or to the calf. Keeping the leg as straight as possible. And straight today might be super bent. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you're feeling it in your hamstrings. Keep the heart pressing towards the left knee. And then release the right hand. We're going to bring the left leg down to the ground. You might need to release the foot before that happens. So the right foot is inside of the left leg like a tree pose. Reach both arms up high to sky. I like to scooch my hips a little bit more forward. Bring the left elbow down inside of the left knee or just the left hand. Reach the right arm overhead towards the left foot. Feel for opening of the heart towards the sky. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder and press the right knee down to the ground. So we feel a side body opener. We feel a hip opener, hamstring on the left side opener. All the things are happening. Bring the right hand down now inside of the left foot. Left hand comes outside of the left leg. Pull the left hip back a little bit so that we can square our body over the left leg and melt down into your Janu Sirsasana. If you'd like to, bend the left leg a whole lot so that the forehead actually rests on the knee. Feel for lengthening of the lower back on the right side. Rounding here as much as you need to make contact of forehead to knee. And then slowly rise out of it. We'll bring the right hand behind the right hip. Sweep the left arm across, lift the hips up, press the hips forward, and sweep the left arm back into your stargazer pose. Feeling left side body open. Try to press into the fingertips more. Again, weight is off of the wrists. And then exhale, bring the bum down to the ground. Cross the left ankle over the right. Make your way into table or a plank pose rather. So stepping back, crawling around on your mat as much as you need to make that happen. And then bring the knees, chin, and chest down to the ground. Again, knees can come first if they don't all want to come down at the same time. Glide forward into your lower, higher up dog. Exhale, roll over the toes. We meet in turbo dog. Take a moment. I like to shorten my stance in turbo dog, so I always walk my feet in. But take a moment here to notice what's happened between right and left. So working along sequence, as those of you who know, who have been practicing with me, on one side versus the other creates a sense of longing of one side to be equal, to be the same as the other. But what we get to do is tap into all of the strength and opening that we've found in the right side and see and feel the difference of this practice in our bodies. Let's even ourselves out. Bring the heels to the right as you breathe into the left side body. Straighten out the legs. Grip the earth with your right hand. Come into Vashistasana. Lift the left knee up high to sky. Look forward. That's your destination. That's where your energy goes. Bring the left foot forward inside of your right hand. Skandasana, we get off of the hands. Bend the left leg. Straighten out the right. Again, low as you'd like. Maybe the hands come to the heart, or maybe even the back of the hands pressed together. Flex the toes if you're low of the right foot. Let's all slide to the back of the mat with or without your hands. Hips can stay as high as the knees. You're still getting the benefit of the inner hip opening here regardless. Press into the right foot. We come into Viparita, so a wide-legged forward fold. Hands underneath the face, toes in, heels out. Lift the tailbone. For our last spine, take peace fingers to the big toes. Pull the elbows out wide and try to bring the crown of the head towards the ground. If it easily touches down, then bring the feet closer together. And if it's nowhere near there, maybe you want the feet to slide out a little bit wider. Feeling for tractioning, lengthening in the spine, in the lower back, and opening of the hamstrings. And release what you've got. Hands come underneath the face. Rise up halfway, lift on your inhale. Send the toes forward, right hand inside of the left foot. Sweep the left arm back and up high to sky. Revolved runners. Pull the right shoulder back. Press the left shin forward. Get super strong here in the legs because they're not going to change. Press into the left foot. Inhale, rise with grace. Revolved crescent pose. Left shin still presses forward. Right heel is high to sky. Look back at your left hand if you can. Feel that twist your body even deeper. And then left hand settles on your right thigh. Sweep the right arm back. Keep pressing the left shin forward. Feel for that corset that we talked about earlier, knitting the rib cage in. As you straighten out the left leg, bring the right hand down to the ground, left arm straight up high to sky. Use that as your rudder to keep you stable. Pull the left hip back. Let's do our sacral check-in here. So bring the hand to your sacrum, lift your tailbone, pull the left hip back. Try to feel like you could balance something, your favorite morning cup of whatever, if it's not a cappuccino, on your sacrum. Keep pulling the left shoulder back and externally rotating the right shoulder away from your ear. Bring the left hand now down to the ground outside of the left foot into pyramid shape. Lift the tailbone again, then melt your heart to the left leg. I like to lift my left toes so just my heel is on the ground, but that might be too much sensation or too destabilizing. You decide. Inner thighs squeezing towards each other, towards the midline here. Beautiful. One more breath. And then bend into the left leg, walk the hands forward. First, find supported warrior three. So the right leg lifts in line with the, parallel with the ground. Pull the left hip back. Core working for you here, the left leg super strong. And then to turn it into standing splits, we melt the body to the left leg. I like to bend it, make it a little bit softer. Head turns heavy, shake the head no and yes. Maybe you're able to lift the right leg. That might feel good, that might not. You decide. But try to let the torso rest here. The legs are doing the work. And then everyone push into the left foot, bring the right knee into the chest. Use your inhale to lift your body up into Stork Pose. Inner thighs squeeze towards each other. Right knee comes high. Find your drishti, your focal point. That's your anchor that's going to keep you steady. Take 3 hip circles here. After the third one, right foot comes down behind you, left hand to the right wrist. Push your right hip forward and gaze down to the ground at your right toes. Gently pulling on the right arm. One more opening. Feel the stretch happening from your right fingertips all the way down to your right hip, maybe even past it to your right knee, maybe down to your toes. Press into the left foot, bring the right knee high to the right shoulder. And then land the right foot inside of your left thigh for tree pose. Bring your hands to your heart. If your foot landed on your knee, then either use your hand to bring it up or slide the foot down below your knee. We just don't want to press right on the knee joint itself. And then find the integrity, the shape of this posture by rooting down with your foot, lifting up Mula Bandha, lifting up your pelvic floor, pushing the right knee back. Spread the fingers wide and start to push the arms to straighten. Flex the fingertips super strong towards the sky. Keep looking at your drishti. Keep pulling the belly into the spine. Beautiful. Lift the arms up high to sky here. Bring the right knee up high to the right shoulder. Bend into the left leg. Start to rotate. Use your core strength to make this big transition into your half moon. Right hip over the left, right shoulder rotates over the left, Bring the left hand down with grace. Right foot presses towards the back wall. So not an easy transition, requiring basically whole body engagement there. Pull the left hip back. Finding your half moon shape, feeling expansive and strong here. Try to pull right shoulder over the left. If you were against the wall, your whole back body would be touching. And then keep everything the same in the shape. Bend into the left leg. Slide the left hand back as you land the right toes. Turn it into Trikonasana. If this is too deep, bring the hand to your left shin. And then feel for lengthening of the left side body. So we want the body to be long here instead of rounded. Pull the left hip back. Press more into your left big toe. Now press into the entire left foot. Inhale, rise up and reverse your Trikonasana. Right hand rests gently on the right leg. Left arm sweeps back. I like to face the palm down. Maybe gaze up to the sky. Feel the chest opening here. Left side body opening. Keep that length. Inhale, rise up. Left hand comes down. The right hand follows. Pivot right heel to the sky. Tent the fingers here. Try to lift the left toes. See if we can sweep the left leg straight back without bending it. If that's possible, it doesn't matter if it's not. Three-legged down dog, plant the hands. From here, stack your hips and open up, bend the leg. Take 3 big juicy hip circles here. Keep pressing into the fingertips a whole lot. And then if you'd like to flip, we lift the right heel, we pivot it to the right. Right shoulder comes over the right wrist, left toes touch down. We find wild thing, squeeze the shoulder blades, let the head drop heavy. Lift the hips a little bit higher, feel the back bend here. And then exhale, we meet everyone in three-legged down dog. Lift the left leg up high. Bring the left knee to the left shoulder, shift forward, flying plank. And then slide your left knee down towards your left wrist, making an elevator out of your arm. Pivot left heel towards your right wrist, setting up for pigeon. Slide the right knee back. And then let's set this up, find some integrity with our pelvic floor here first. Right hand comes to the sole of the left foot, left hand comes to your left hip crease. And again, the option, if you need, is to come onto your back and find reclined pigeon. Lift the right knee off of the ground, pull the left hip back, and then feel for the buoyancy in your pelvic floor that we found before. So that lifting up action. Bring the right knee down to the ground. Stay upright if this feels like a good amount of work that's sustainable for several breaths. If you'd like to come into a forward fold, walk your hands forward. Elbows might come down onto the ground, or maybe you make fists and stack them on top of each other, rest the forehead down. But keep energetically trying to pull the left hip back, right hip forward. And try to soften as much as you can into your left hip joint. Going back to the visualization of your breath is water. And visualizing your breath coming into the muscles around your hip joint, swimming around in your muscles and softening. Softening the muscles, softening the connective tissues that attach to your bones in order to release tension, to let go. If you've noticed tension accumulate in your jaw or in your face or in your shoulders, allow that to soften as well. Take one more big breath in and out wherever you are. If you're forward, start to walk the hands back in. We'll all meet in Marichyasana. So if you're upright, come onto your left hip, sweep the right leg around. Foot plant outside of your left leg to modify, straighten out the right leg, or straighten out the left leg so the right knee is still pointing to the sky. Otherwise, keep the left heel hugged into your right hip. Lift the crown of the head wherever you are, get the spine long, reach both arms up high to sky, and then we'll bring the left elbow outside of the right knee, right hand behind the body. Lift from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head and gaze over to your right shoulder. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder, close your eyes down. And then keep the twist, bring the left hand to the outside of your right foot. Straighten out the right leg. Again, if that bind's not happening for you, take your right calf, your right leg, reach the right arm back. It's amazing how much I cue body parts, and I'm like, yeah, what is that again? Try to press the heel away from you wherever you are. That should feel super juicy in the IT band, my runners. You'll feel that a lot. Or my walkers. And then bring the right hand inside of the right foot or the right calf. Try to pull the leg in close to your body. Maybe even give your right knee a kiss. Chest forward, weight into the right hip bone. All right, release the left hand. Bring the right leg out to the right to about a 45-degree angle, and then allow the right leg to come down to the ground. Maybe release the bind beforehand. Hands behind the hips, scooch forward so both step bones are on the ground. Reach both arms up high to sky. And exhale, bring the elbow or the hand inside of your right leg. Reach the left arm up and over. Let the head be lazy so the right ear rests towards the right shoulder. And try to peel your chest to the sky. So still feeling for opening of the left side body, spaciousness in your heart. Left arm reaches towards the right toes. Maybe it actually binds today. Maybe that's a quest for tomorrow. We'll inhale, use your oblique muscles to rise up. Left hand comes behind your left hip. Sweep the right arm past your, or to the left side of the mat and up, lift the hips, stargazer here. So push the hips forward, find one last little baby back bend here. Press into the knife edge of the right foot. And exhale, slow, come down to the ground. Reach both legs forward this time. And since we found lots of wide-legged forward folds, we're going to just come into Halasana, so slowly rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Use your core strength, flex the toes. Keep pressing quadriceps down to the ground. And then once the shoulders touch down, press the hands into the ground. Core strength lifts your legs straight up high to sky. So Viparita Karani is a lovely place to stay. It's very restorative. It brings blood into your head. You can stay put, or if you'd like more for your lower back, we'll start to bring the feet overhead. Looking straight up high to the sky, so try not to look left or right. Palms still pressing into the ground. Maybe the toes touch down overhead. And then if the toes do touch down, you'll probably feel some constriction in your throat. If you feel like you can't breathe, I like to walk my shoulders towards the top of the mat. That automatically creates more space in my neck. See how that works for you. And then also if you feel your chin pressing into your sternum, if you gently press into the back of the head, you might make a little bit more space there. If toes are down, play with pressing the heels towards the wall behind you and releasing. If the toes are not touching down, I recommend bringing your hands to your lower back, fingertips point to the sky. And if this is just too much compression, you can always come back into Viparita Karani, which was the hips down on the ground and the legs straight up. Now this should feel like a super nice quite intense back opening. My back always feels super, super fiery when I first do this. And so that visualization of the breath like water is exquisite here for me. What's your experience? Option, if the hands aren't on the low back, is to interlace fingers, roll the shoulders underneath each other even more. Take 3 more breaths here, yogis. And we'll start to come out of it and come into Supta Bhattachanasana. If you have your hands bound, I invite you to keep them bound. If you're in Viparita Karani, hands stay where they are. Just bring the legs to a bend and bring the bottoms of the feet together and rest the outer edges of the feet down onto the ground. If you've kept the bind, your sacrum is resting on your wrist. This might feel a little constricting, but it will feel glorious afterwards. It's a little bit of an extra chest opener. Roll the shoulders underneath each other. Otherwise, the hands are resting on the ground, or you can bring, if you're not bound, you can bring your hands to your hips, giving them a little bit of heat, a little bit of last opening. And in this final shape of our practice, take a moment to reflect again on what's happened in your body. This slow practice where we moved mindfully, where we stayed in each position for a couple of breaths, maybe several breaths in some of them, where we were able to be conscious about our experience and soften into our experience. Also notice how left and right side have evened out. They both got their chance to work, their chance to strengthen, and their opportunity to release. If the hands are still bound, you might feel the fingertips starting to tingle. Let's release out of that by pressing into the outer edges of your feet. Lift the hips off of the hands and undo your bind. We'll all bring the hands to your outer thighs. Bring the knees in towards each other and into the chest. Cross the forearms over the calves or catch opposite elbows or the wrists. Rock left and right a few times. Always thanking yourself for taking time for this practice, for taking time for this act of self-love and this act of self-care. Squeeze in a little bit tighter. Take a big breath in through the nose and hold it at the top. Feel the chest pressing against your thighs. Feel the constriction of the breath in your body full and complete. Try to hold your breath for a few more moments. And then exhale, release through the mouth. Let the body go and spread out wide. Find your Shavasana. The legs coming out wide, the arms coming out wide. Adjust your shoulders and your hips as you need to. Feel for complete relaxation in the body, especially taking a moment to soften in the shoulders, soften in the jaw, soften in your forehead. And start to wiggle fingers and toes. Bringing life and awareness back into our physical bodies. And when you're ready, bring the legs together, reach the arms overhead, find a full good morning stretch for your body. Reaching maybe one side a little bit longer and then the other. And then bring your hands to your heart. Rest your left hand on your heart, the right hand on top of it. Again, thanking yourself for taking the time for this act of self-love and this act of self-care. And thanking everyone in this community for coming together, taking a moment together to share this movement and this breath. Have a lovely day, you all. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely weekend as well.